Hello everybody, this is your girl Foxy Wilma. Now, I haven't made a video in a while because I've been highly busy. I've been training towards my competition this year, which is going to be the Teen Collegiate Master Championships in Pittsburgh, PA on July the 19th through the 22nd. So I will be up in Pittsburgh, PA on July the 20th because that's when they have the women's physique competition up there and anything. So I'm gearing up for that. So I'm like, right now training 5 days a week because on Saturdays I'm working my second job right now, my second gig on the side, which is Postmates. I'm doing that now to make money on the side. So I'm not working out on Saturdays right now. So putting everything in 5 day on in the 5 days during the weekday and stuff. But so been busy with that, and then been busy working my primary job. So constantly on the go. But reason why I'm making this video right here is because last night I was up late or whatever, or dozed off, and then I woke up around about like 3:57 in the morning. So I decided let me watch a YouTube video and everything. So I happened to turn on my YouTube, and I came across one of T.S. Madison's videos talking about transgender students losing their protection of from the Obama administration, because the Trump administration, specifically Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, they decided to turn back the protections of letting transgender students use the bathroom that correlates with their gender identity, how they see themselves. So they took that away, and old girl Catlyin Jenner decided she's gonna make a little video to send to Donald Trump, telling him to call her because they need to talk and anything, because she said that he told her that that this wouldn't happen. But it has happened. It has happened. It has happened. And I'm not surprised. I am not surprised, because they appointed Jeff Sessions, and Jeff Sessions has a horrible record when it comes to LGBT rights. A horrible record. But Catlyin Jenner want to stand up now and everything and be like, call me Donald Trump. I'm not saying president. Reason why I'm not saying president in that fashion is because Donald Trump is a motherfucking jackass. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna try to be real clear and precise with this video and stay on the topic at hand or whatever, because I can go multiple directions with this topic and everything. I can talk about Catlyin Jenner. I can talk about Donald Trump and his administration and how they just dropping the ball everywhere. Because Donald Trump's a jackass. He's a jackass, and it's obvious he's a jackass. But that's a video for another day. But I'm gonna focus in on transgender students, having that protection taken away. Okay. Luckily, when I was in elementary school and high school, I wasn't out. So I didn't have to deal with that situation and anything. I didn't come out until I was in college. I was probably about 25 at the time and everything. And I was, going to a unisex bathroom because I was not at the point where I felt comfortable to go up into, the in my case, the female bathroom and anything. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this topic a little bit before and anything. Because in my opinion, if you don't look, how can I say this? If you're not confident in your skin, I'll say it that way. Because if I say if you don't look the part, that might come off wrong on some people and anything. But I'm gonna say this: if you're not confident in your skin, you don't need to be in that restroom. You don't need to be there. You need to be somewhere where you're not gonna cause any waves, because it'll cause waves when you're not confident in who you are. Because if you're not confident in who you are, people are going to look at you and they're going to pick up on that. And then next thing you know, they're going to start talking out their mouth and anything. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion about this. But the thing that pisses me off is like, oh, we get the protection from the Obama administration, but it's gonna be taken away by these conservative people who come up in there and just start taking shit away without really thinking about the consequences of that and anything. Because now it's like we don't give a fuck about you transgender community or whatever. We just throw y'all to the wolves, and that's basically what this administration is doing and everything. Because I'm be like, this is gonna be open season and anything. Because I mean, another thing that worries me is us as transgender individuals, especially transgender students, and elementary school or middle school or high school, being singled out because everyone now knows that you're transgender and anything. Because during those times, kids are stupid and they're immature and they say some nasty things to each other. That's that bully culture and everything. And that bully culture, it needs to be put to a screeching halt. Because I used to be bullied when I was in daycare. When I was in middle school, I used to be bullied. And it's something that I don't wish on anyone. Because I remember back in the day, I always would say to myself, why are they picking on me? Why are they bullying me? I didn't do anything to them. The only thing it is I exist, and then they're intimidated by that, or they just want to act all gusto in front of me and try to intimidate me type of thing, and I haven't even done nothing to them. I'm just there and anything. So that bully culture, it needs to be put to a screeching halt. Yeah, but I'm not surprised. Stop. Had a call coming in. Okay. I am not surprised at this, protection being rescinded. I am not surprised at it at all and everything. Because I'm like this, it was just a matter of time. But another thing that upsets me is the Catlyin Jenner angle and everything. Like my girl T.S. Madison said, Catlyin Jenner, you need to go sit the hell down and everything. You need to go sit the hell down. Because the time to start saying shit, the time to start doing stuff was before, when homeboy was running for president. Should have been going against him and anything. Because I'm like this, you conservative Republicans, y'all not gonna help us. That is why I am not a Republican. Thank God I'm not a Republican. Because I don't think that way. Everything in my life or whatever everything in my life is the way that I've seen, how can I say this? How I was raised and where I come from made me have a liberal mindset. Because first off, I'm African American, and you mother suckers way back in the day, didn't give us our rights to be on the same level as y'all. So we had to fight through that. And also, let's see, I'm transgender. To some of y'all though, don't realize that I'm transgender. I am transgender. And that's a struggle all on its own too right there. So I had to fight to be who I am. And so I am not conservative. I might have conservative views on other things, but when it comes to my transgender brothers and sisters, I am not conservative. I'm going to stand up with my transgender brothers and sisters because we get mowed down every day. Even though it's not being reported, there are some of us that are being murdered just because we exist. And then there are some of us that are committing suicide because it is just difficult to face reality, wherever the case may be. So I'm for one, I am not going to sit here and just like, roll over and not say anything and not speak up when I know shit is foul. This shit is foul. Because homeboy sit up there and said on national TV that, transgender people are protected and everything. And then he go and do this. But it wasn't him who went and did it. His attorney general went and did it. Jeff Sessions. And I remember, like, I was on my phone. I get these little, like, emails for, like, Democrat, like, what did they call it? Human rights, Democrat org, whole bunch of stuff, political, whatever. And then they always, like, sending me this stuff to, like, add your name to the petition, call your congressman, call your senator, all this other stuff, right? So I remember one thing came across my phone, and it was talking about, like, this, like, fight the, fight the confirmation of Jeff Sessions as the Attorney General. Okay. Excuse me. Fight that, right? So you know what I did? I went in it. I went on there. I got in contact with my congressman, my senator, and everything. And guess what, motherfucker from, like, North Carolina said? He said like, he feels my concerns, but he sees that, like, Jeff Sessions has a good track record and anything, and he's gonna confirm him. That's what motherfucker said and anything. He wasn't listening to the, like, the rest of the constituencies. That's the wrong word. Definitely wrong word. He wasn't listening to the rest of the people who was, like, going against that appointment of Jeff Sessions. That congressman, that senator, whichever one it was, I can't remember his name at the moment, whatever. But he'd already made up in his mind how he was gonna vote. These motherfuckers up in this government, this Congress, this state legislator, you name it, wherever they are, they already got their mind up how they gonna vote and anything. And us, like, getting in contact with them, telling them, like, this is how I feel about the situation, and then they got other people telling them that too, and then they got these motherfucking lobbyists and anything like that. Yeah, that's where democracy fails you and anything. Because I'm like this, if the majority of people are, like, saying this shit is foul, this shit ain't right, it behooves you not to vote and approve that man for Attorney General. It behooves you not to do that and anything. Because that shit gonna come and bite you in your ass. Because it's people like me, because I go out and vote. It's people like me, when we raise this grassroots organization, we will get your ass up out of there. Because we put you in there. We can sure hell put you out. Remember that. Being a politician, your job ain't safe. It is not safe if you don't do what we want you to do and anything. But I know it has to be the majority of, like, us, like, saying the same thing. Because I'm gonna be honest, the motherfuckers on the right, they the ones who got us in this bullshit and anything. They vote this motherfucker in office. They voted me in here, and now we going through this shit. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if Hillary was president of the United States, half of the shit that we've been hearing, because I'm not gonna say we've been going through, because I ain't been going through this bullshit and anything. Because I made a resolution not to expose myself to watching the news for these next 4 years and anything. I get my news through, like, let's say the Daily Show, Late Night Show with Seth Mathers, and that's how I get it and anything. Because I'm straight up laughing at this administration, because this administration is a fucking joke. They are a fucking joke. And Catlyin Jenner, she need to go sit her ass down somewhere. She don't speak for us. And I go back to many videos. I done made a lot of videos on my channel. And I go back to one statement or comment that I made. Like, who in the hell nominated her to be the voice of the transgender community? Who the fuck did that? Like, we didn't cast no votes. as they say, we didn't cast no votes, we didn't place no ballots. Like, who the fuck just automatically nominated her as a voice? And this lady ain't did shit. She ain't did shit but just exist. And I basically what it come down to is that motherfucking money. I mean, when you got money and you got privilege, you got money, and I hate to say this thing, you motherfucking white. Because Laverne Cox got money and she doing a whole lot of stuff for the transgender community, but she ain't got clout like that. Janet Mock is out there and doing things, but she ain't got clout like that. She can't just call motherfucking president and be like, fucking call me and shit. That's that like, you know, that's the color of your skin type of thing talking. And then on top of that, Catlyin Jenner used to be like, you know, a gold medalist in the decathlon. I think that's it. The decathlon way back in the day and everything. And she got her money off of that, you know, keeping up with the Kardashian bullshit and anything. And I'm like this, I ain't gonna listen to someone who run with the motherfucking Kardashians because they a motherfucking train wreck. So I'm like this, I agree with T.S. Madison. Homegirl need to go sit down somewhere and shut the fuck up. Because all she doing is making shit worse. Because I'm like this, Donald Trump ain't gonna listen to your ass. He ain't gonna listen to your ass. And I remember when I was watching your second season, and you made it possible for, you know, y'all, the girls to meet like Hillary Clinton, and then you bad mouthing Hillary Clinton and everything, talking about like, you know, this whole Benghazi shit. I bet you're thinking right now, if you was on board with the rest of your girls or whatever, shit might have been a little bit different. If you was pushing for Hillary instead of this motherfucking Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, like I said, he a fucking jackass. He gonna go down, and I'm praying every day that, like, you know, the bombs don't drop on us. But homeboy is gonna go down as the dumbest, and dumb and stupid go together. The dumbest, inept, unfit president ever. And President Obama said it out of his mouth. Homeboy is unfit, but you fuckers voted him in here, and now transgender students have to deal with this. Protections being taken away. So I'm blaming this shit on the ones of y'all who voted for this shit. In here. Because yesterday when I was driving, I saw someone with a Trump Pence bumper sticker. You know what? I almost didn't let him in. I was saying to myself, Lord, I wish I had a rock. I'd throw it at their fucking car right now. Because they the reason why we in this bullshit. I might have rant and raved on this video, whatever. But when it comes down to, I'm going to be praying for my trans sisters and brothers who are in elementary school, who are in middle school, who are in high school, that shit don't happen to you. Because it's a bad day when federal protections are like taken away. It's a bad day. And then someone say like, oh, you can't go up in that restroom and everything. And then you, on top of that, you got people picking on you because you are the way you are and anything. It's bad. That's bad combination. Because you could at least say like, oh, well, you know, I got the right now because I'm protected and anything. But hey, they rescinded it. They took it back to the sender type of thing. Yeah, so I just like, oh my gosh, when I was watching T.S. Madison's video earlier this morning, I couldn't help but laugh. Because I was just like, this shit is outrageous. It is completely outrageous. But see, at the end of the day, it ain't gonna stop me from doing what I need to do. But one thing I do know is I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna be counted for it and everything. And with that being said, to my trans sisters and brothers, stay strong. Just continue to keep being who you are. And to them other people who give you grief, you can tell them to kiss your motherfucking ass and everything. And just just keep fighting. So with that being said, as always, y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Bye.